Mr. Laniwaju, thank you for joining us on Diplomatic Channel. Rahaf Al-Qunun is just one of many who are also looking for an opportunity to get out of countries like Saudi Arabia on comfortable situations. What's so peculiar about her case and, the reason why it's got so much international attention?
About Rahaf Al-Qunun, it's peculiar because it is Saudi Arabia. And if you look at it as it stands today, Saudi Arabia is one of the most oppressive and repressive states for women across the world. In Saudi Arabia right now, women are still not allowed to travel alone. They are not allowed to even enroll in a university or tertiary institution all by themselves. They are not allowed to even seek medical attention all by themselves. They have to seek the consent or approval of a male member of the family. It could be their father, brother, son, or even husband. So the kind of society Saudi Arabia is being very harsh and unfriendly towards women. Though, in spite of the reforms we have seen of late, midwifed by the prince, Mohammed bin Salman, especially with the lifting of ban on women from driving and also the allowing mixed mega events and all that. But it's a very repressive society, and that is why it is peculiar. And when you also link this to the Khashoggi murder, the one that happened in Istanbul, Turkey, you realize that anything concerning Saudi Arabia right now is going to set alarm bells ringing across the world.
Yeah, that probably just put her, in better position to be granted asylum other than others. But should the Thai government have insisted that she stay in Thailand? I mean, I think they at a point offered her asylum, but she insisted on going to either Australia or to Canada.
Well, one thing is very key here. She did not request for asylum in Thailand, and she probably would not have felt safe in Thailand. There's a particular, we've had an issue of recent, there's still a Bahrainian who is for the past 45 days, have been in prison in Thailand. I think he sought asylum in Australia. His name is Hakim Al-Araibi or something. Hakim Al-Araibi. He sought asylum in Australia, and he got asylum. He's now a resident of Australia, but I was told Hakim was in Thailand for his delayed honeymoon, and he was picked up because he's been flagged by Interpol Red Notice, and he was picked up. He's been in detention in Thailand for the past 60 days. That would not be encouraging for Rahaf Al-Qunun to have considered Thailand as a place to seek asylum when you consider the other case that they are still, dragging through the courts in Thailand.
So she was offered, well, she did propose two places. She wanted to go Australia or Canada. Australia said they were going through the process, of considering asylum for her. And then the Canadian Prime Minister came on board on Saturday and said they were granting her asylum. She immediately took off, with the UNHCR officials. I don't know how else, you can see this, but I'm just wondering, could this just be a young lady who has dreams of growing up in a Western country, probably using asylum as an excuse, or, probably using the fact that, people already know that Saudi Arabia is bad with human rights and so on, and taking advantage of this to go live her dreams in a country that would appreciate them?
Oh, well, you have to look at it from different angles. Australia were not ready to cut short their processes. They said they were fast tracking it through the normal channels, and that could take time. You also have to look at there might be ulterior motive. She said it herself that she has thought through this for a long time, and in spite of the abuses she claimed she has been subjected to by her family, she's thought through this, she hatched the plan, and she probably needed to walk through this. All around the world, women are seeing hope. Women are seeing hope on the horizon. There's light at the end of the tunnel for a lot of women. There are a lot of women like Rahaf Al-Qunun all over the world, all over the Middle East, who are also thinking, oh, when is it going to be my opportunity to get out of this hellhole, this repressive and oppressive society? A lot of them are like that. So the social media has quickened this, fast-tracked this. And also, there are a lot of conditions that made this probably a no-brainer for her.
But when you compare this side by side with people who also desperately need asylum, I mean, it pales in comparison to the situation that they're in. These are other people who are facing farming, who are facing wars, where they are, who are desperately trying to get to a better place and to live better lives for themselves and for their children. When you compare Rahaf's situation with theirs, do you think that there should be probably more attention paid to groups of people who also desperately need asylum, probably fast tracking the process instead of trying to delay it so that, you know, those people are sent back to their own countries, back to the places they're running away from?
Citizens of other countries who are trying to get asylum, seeking refugee status in the West, is that many of these individuals got into those countries through irregular, channel, irregular pathway. Some of them through the Mediterranean Sea, some through the Canary Island, usually without papers and documentation. But she flew into Thailand legitimately, and I think she was attempting to go to Australia. And you being able to fly alone means that the manner in which you sought to travel or migrate is through the regular pathway. So that also make our case peculiar, a little bit different from especially African migrants or Middle Eastern, Syrians, Iraqis who are seeking asylum elsewhere. There's a global understanding that people who are running away from death, whose life are threatened, should be given fast-track processes.
Let's look to the future now. What do you think that looks like for Rahaf?
I think, well, it's going to be, it will be one day at a time. Everything will unfold. When I saw her on TV, I looked at her 18-year-old. It's just going to be, a long way for our development. But there's a precedent. We have, what's her name? Malala Yousafzai. Also, left Pakistan after the assassination attempt. But the only difference is Malala, left with her family. She has the comfort of her family with her in the UK. But she is going to be with our family. But I think the host country, Canada, has been very receptive to refugees. And a lot of the Muslim population in Canada is actually enjoying, quite some liberality and freedom. And I think she will integrate faster, and they will find a way to ensure that she find a foster parent who will be able to encourage her to grow. It's going to be tough for her. It's a long, long walk to freedom.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it.
Yeah, and she's probably going to miss a lot. This family that she says would have killed her, she would also miss them because this is a family she grew up in. It's like saying goodbye to everything you've known and, saying welcome to everything you do not know.
Yeah, she will, definitely, she will. At 18, by the time you're 23, in 2 years, she will miss her brothers, she will miss home a lot.
Larry Waju, thank you so much for speaking with us on Diplomatic Channel.
My pleasure.